actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than whites. Right. And whites are significantly greater.
60% compared to 13%.
Yo, you tuning into the Notion Podcast. I'm your host, Dspill. And I'm going to enjoy reacting to this video. Let's run it back again because this pastor right here, he was kicking some game, right? He was kicking some game for real. Now, let's just run it back. I'll run it back.
The actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than whites. Right. And whites are significantly greater. 60% compared to 13% percentage of the population. Yeah.
So if you take that, and then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted through Moses. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood.
Oh boy. This is a white pastor, by the way. I seen this online and I thought it was interesting. He immediately threw in the Bible, talked about the Bible, and said that, in the Bible, this is how you handle. And of course, I have the second part of this, so you don't have to worry about that, right? But he basically talked about in the Bible that you got to handle your kids in the way that I'm going to play, the video or whatever, right? But I just wanted to speak to the part of him saying that, and I'm going to be real with you. This is triggering to me. This does piss me off. And it's been pissing me off for a while because people get online and they take certain stats and they don't even add the proper context, right? Like, for example, a lot of people that defended Charlie Kirk, as far as his talking points, always felt like people took his words out of context. Maybe that's true. From what I've seen, I don't really see it, but maybe there is some truth to that, right? But even Charlie Kirk himself had a lot of different stats and different statements about the black community that's not true. Okay. And I'm going to break it down to you on how it's not true. So let me do this. Just give me 1 second. Boom. Okay. While I'm working on this, let me break down how he said all of this stuff, and it's not even like he's saying it out of context. He just don't know what the hell he's talking about, and he's a pastor. I ain't been to church in a while, and I feel like I know more than this dude. So let's break it down real quick. The reason why the numbers are higher, right, in the communities is we're not all, well, I don't even say the reason why the numbers are higher. We know why the numbers are higher. But what he's leaving out of the facts is who are the victims. If black people commit more murders than their counterparts, which happen to be white people, right? Who are the victims? They never tell you that when they tell you stats. You know who the victims are? Other black people. So why are y'all having this conversation? This is a conversation that we have been having, and not enough of us are having, right? But this is our conversation. It's not affecting your community. There's a lot of things that are affecting your community, but it's not us taking each other out. It's not drawing a concern for you guys to come in and help. It's just a talking point like what you see right here online. But that's what they don't tell you when they give you these numbers. Yes, black people are around 13 to 14% of the population. So yes, if it's 5 black people and 3 out of the 5 are taking each other out, which only leaves 2 left, yes, that would mean the majority of that group is probably more likely to take each other out than another group. But here's the thing. They're taking each other out. And here's the other thing. When you look at the numbers and statistics that they're getting this stuff from, they're getting this stuff from different areas that they're trying to compile into one stat. Because when they talked about the most incarcerated and stuff like that, no, they were going off FBI records and they were talking about the most arrests. That's where they're getting their numbers from. The database that shows arrests, but they don't talk about the acquittals, how many of us are acquitted and exonerated. They leave those numbers out, or how we're more active and we're more willing than any other group. Black fathers are to deal with their kids and deal with the routines that the moms have to deal with the children, bathing, helping with homework and playing, spending time with them and playing with them and stuff like that. Black men, we're number one on that list. Go look that stat up. Don't talk about that, right? But we'll let homie eat, because maybe he has some stuff that makes sense in this. I don't really see how, but let's see.
And they're rebellious. They don't listen. He lists some characteristics, and they won't. Even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son, and then they stone him to death. They kill him. And
mind you, he's talking about Deuteronomy, right? That's what he said in Deuteronomy, right? We'll get there, because this also goes with this whole Christian thing in politics right now. This was Christ-like, and certain people are Christ-like, and they were followers of Christ. But you got people right here saying this is what you should do to your children, and the Bible said it. But I'm gonna break it down to you, because I was raised in the church. I ain't been there in a minute, but I was raised in the church, and I do know my shiznit. But it's all right. We're gonna keep it going.
An armed robber would certainly be one of those.
Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto
violent
culture,
crimes,
basically
all the ghetto culture. I can't wait. Just let him finish, Dizzy D. Let him finish.
Take ghetto culture, it would describe this to a T.
See how concerned he is about people that he don't care about or he's not contributing to as far as the community. But we're going to go in. We're going to cook. Oh, we're going to cook. And we're going to eat. Oh, yeah, we're going to eat. So here's my thing, y'all. And this is what I need y'all to understand, because I get a little passionate sometimes. First of all, dumbass. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. Because we're talking about the Bible. We're talking about God. Chill. Okay, cool. First of all, you idiot. I don't know what this pastor's name is. I seen this was sent to me, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm finna go in, right? Idiot pastor. Deuteronomy is the Old Testament. Okay, for you guys that don't really know that much about the Bible, there's an Old Testament and there's a New Testament. Do you want to know also what was going on in the Old Testament? Incest was going on in the Old Testament. So are we going to start promoting that? Because what we call incest in the Old Testament, that's how the world got populated. But we're going to leave that out, right? The world was also destroyed before in the Old Testament. See, what people like to do is you have identity politics, and then now I believe you have religious politics, and they don't go together. Politics and religion don't go together. They don't. I'm sorry, however y'all want to see it, but it doesn't go together. But for the idiot pastor, now Deuteronomy is in the Old Testament, and yes, they did the Old Testament is brutal. I don't care how many Gladiator movies, 300, all of that stuff. Ain't nothing more brutal than the Old Testament. They pissed God off in the Old Testament. You hear me? To where there's a New Testament now. All right. So what a lot of people like to do, because most people don't read the Bible, they're not really religious, but they believe in God or they believe in a higher power. They say these things about, well, this is what the Bible said. And this is where the confusion comes in about slavery and how, slavery and the Bible was damaged into the black community. No, it's people twisting God's word. And he said something about twisting his word and adding and taking stuff out of the Bible. You finna be dealt with in a real way. He said that in the Bible too. But the problem is he's taking something that's Old Testament, which means that's the old way of doing things, and saying, yeah, we're going to bring it back. So you're just going to disregard the fact that Bob had you're going to disrespect the fact that God had a whole different testament and a whole different way of saying, all right, this is how we're going to do things. And you're going to go and you're going to go behind Bob, aka God's back, right? And you're going to say, hey, check this out. We ain't doing none of that new stuff you got. We want the old stuff. This is why people don't take church seriously. This is why people don't take pastors seriously. And this is why people just say, well, I believe in a higher power. People don't know what to believe because they're being deceived all the time. But the crazy thing is what was the talking point? Black people. There's an obsession for us right now, right? Latino, brown people, stay strong. They're under attack right now. and they slowly picking at us. Who's looking for this dude? I want to know how many black members he has at his church. I don't know if he gonna have any now, and if they do, they raccooning like crazy if they still there, right? But the ignorance. I'm not ignorant. I know what's up. Deuteronomy is Old Testament. We don't go off the Old Testament. We go off the New Testament. We need the Old Testament to know what happened and what to do and what not to do. But that right there, and listen, before you ignorant people get in the comment section with it, and I literally mean the people that are there to raise a muck and go crazy and not have healthy dialogue. That's what I'm talking about. You're always free to leave comments and share your take, and I'll respond, or somebody from the Notion will respond. I try to always respond myself. That's fine. But I'm talking about the ignorant behavior that y'all bring to the channel. Before y'all do that, I just want you guys to understand, this is a pastor talking about you should do this. And then the dude was talking about criminals and robbers and ghetto. Listen, I know you guys are trying to use all of these words and black people and talking points, but understand something. We don't own the word ghetto, and we didn't bring the concept of ghetto to America. So y'all probably need to do your research on that, and I'm not going to take time to explain all of that to you. But black people do not own the concept, the behavior, or the word of ghetto. So you can take that and do whatever you want to do with it. But again, we're going to highlight black people, and this is what's crazy. This was crazy to me. The majority of the crimes that are committed are usually by people that look like you. Most killings of white people are by another white person. An example of that is what happened to Charlie Kirk, right? And the same thing with black people. Nipsey Hussle, as far as hip hop, it was a black man that did that to him. People have a tendency to take each other out. Hell, I'll even give you this. In the hip hop culture, a lot of people get taken out in their hometown. That's how, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? That's how proximity works. Proximity. This is all proximity. Now, why they needed to veer off the freeway and start bringing up black people and this and that and the other, and they left a lot of information out on that. But I'm passionate about that because I'm tired of this, man. If I'm going to have a platform, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to give the real, and I'm not going to sit up there and let people play with us. All right? So those are the numbers. Okay. Yeah. Black people, we're a small percentage, 13 to 14% of the population. That's around 40, 45 million people in this country. And yes, we do take each other out. And yes, if those numbers are high, so they say, it's towards each other. It's not like the majority of the things that we're doing is to Latino people or white people or Indian or Asian. It's none of that. It's doing it to each other, just like white folks do it to each other in Spanish, and the list goes on. But that's the stuff that they leave out. And that nastiness with him trying to use Bible gymnastics and say, yeah, in Deuteronomy it says this. It's the Old Testament, dummy. Man, you can't make this stuff up. I would definitely love to know what you guys think about this, okay? For real. Leave your comments. And those of you that are watching this for the first time, do us a solid. Like and subscribe and turn those notifications on so you can get more content like this, so we can have healthy dialogue. This is your boy, Dizzy Dspill. You're tuning into the Notion Podcast. Until next time, peace.